But the world needs what you have. God gave this to you for a reason, so you have to act out on it.
Yes. All right. Girl, so I gotta come with the proper introduction because
Okay.
Girl. I'm so excited to have you here, girl. All right.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you,
girl. Yes, you're doing the thing. All
right, let me read this bomb bio. Shenea Brown is a school psychologist by day and a community curator by night. She is the founder of HERCollectively, which was birthed November 2019. The mission is to have highly curated events that bring women of color together, forming bonds that are unbreakable so that they can embrace who they are collectively. Shenea also has her own podcast, A Seat at the Table, where she talks with other women-led businesses on their journey and what inspired them to get started. Shameless plug, I was on that. Shenea is also a book club organizer and has led a book club community for the past 7 years called HERBookClub, called the HERBookClub. She is also 1/3 of a member of the Small Business Svite, a business founder to empower, highlight, and celebrate small businesses. For the past 2.5 years, Shenea and her business partners have worked with countless businesses with services like celebrations of launch, anniversaries, panel discussions, and creating successful partnerships. Shenea is also a new mother to a soon-to-be 1-year-old and has a loving and supportive fiance who has been her biggest cheerleader. Let us welcome Shay! Yay, welcome. I'm so happy that you agreed to come on and share your testimony.
Of course. It's been a long time.
I've
and just in this space, so I appreciate you for saying my name and still speaking me up. It's been so long.
Yes.
Hey Adrian, how are you? Hey family, what's up? So I'm so proud of you. First things first, like you have such a long way. You are now hopping on lives. You are speaking the word. You are spreading the gospel, and I love that. Like, I love the fact that you actually decided to just take the leap full on and just be, the campaign, the poster child for God.
Yes.
And just really living that truth. I think it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of faith, right? And just moving ahead in that way. So I'm really proud of you.
I appreciate you, girl. I really appreciate you, Shay, for saying that.
You guys, I think you and Adrian are a powerhouse. I'm so glad that you're still keeping the mission alive. So there's so much to celebrate. I hope you're finding opportunities to celebrate yourself.
I appreciate you. Yes, girl, anything I'm just all about faith, and I do consider myself the faithologist, and so I have to live by that.
Okay, check you out.
I gotta live by that. So I just go where he sends me, girl, and I do what he tells me to do. And so
Amen. Come on, obedience.
Yes, that's what it is, girl. That's what it is. So I'm just gonna jump right into it and just ask you to share with us just one time where you had to step out on faith.
So I would say that creating this community was probably the biggest leap in faith that I've ever taken. I've always loved celebrating women, doing things for the community. I'm all about bringing women together in a big way. So I've been doing this, obviously off before 2019 for a long time, but it was someone who spoke to me. A shout out to Natasha, and also, my fiance, who really encouraged me to just do it, go ahead. And I'm just I don't have the time. I can't, making excuses. It's not in me. I can't lend myself to this. This is too much. But when you're called to do what God wants you to do, it's never too much. Right. So I had to see it as, this is something that the community needs. This is something that I needed. And so really deciding to give more of my time to building this brand. It has not been easy. So I believe that that's been my biggest leap into faith, is really committing, being consistent. Even when my page was hacked,
Yeah.
you know, probably about a year ago, I think you know, I told you about that. You know, I had kind of made a name for myself at that point, right? Where like my following went up. You know, I had so much material in terms of like who I'd done lives with, how, you know, testimonies like with women who just really poured into their stories and just like shared that in a big way. And so when I got hacked and I lost all of that, right, I was devastated. Like, I honestly did not want to come back in this space at all, like, because I was pregnant at the time. So how am I even going to do this? And you know, I didn't want to get myself all wound up and upset. So I was just like, I'm done with it. And then my fiance was like, no, absolutely not.
Right.
And, you know, it took a lot out of me to restart. But I remember when and sharing that, oh, I got hacked, so many people came and found me and connected with me and reposted and reshared. And I felt like that was God's way of saying, like, you know, you have community. You've already built it. So when you build it, it will come. Right? So sometimes God's going to shake up your world a little bit. Sometimes your foundation will get tested, right? And it's up to you to decide whether you're going to lean in or you're going to fold. Because I could have easily said, I'm done with this, I don't need it. But then I have to think about how this platform has helped people in so many different ways, where you were able to come on the podcast and share, where you were able to pop up at the 333 Lounge and, you know, highlight and spotlight your business, or make connections with other people that were amongst this community. So I felt like if I didn't move ahead, I'd be doing a disservice to myself and to God. So I'm like, God, you have called me to do such a thing. So I'm going to move ahead. I'm going to move forward no matter how long it takes. I know it'll take some time to gain those followers, but think about the new people you're getting ready to expose your business to. Think about all the different people you're getting ready to touch that's never seen her collectively, never heard her collectively before. So I had to take in that moment such a negative experience and make it positive and know that it's all for a reason. It's all to test you, right? It's a different season. It called for a different, you know, group of people. Maybe there were people on there that I no longer needed to be in alignment with.
Right.
Just don't know. So something simple as that, it really, you know, it was a humbling experience, because then I look at the people who I started with in this journey 2019, and their following is like out there now, you know, and I'm just like, dang, I'm starting all over. But going at my own pace, I'm doing my own time. I don't feel the need to have to perform and share and like, I'm being very intentional, right, about like what I'm sharing and what I'm posting. Also realizing that I'm also not in the same space anymore.
I know. New mommy. Yes. Right.
I honor where I'm at. Like, I have to honor the role that God has kind of given me now, and, you know, kind of walk in that a little bit more. Where I would lend my time to reposting and, you know, sharing a inspirational quote. I need to pour into my son. Spend time with my family. I need to make sure that he has a strong foundation. You know, this is already set. Whoever's going to follow, whoever's going to connect, it's already been written.
Right. So true. So true. I love all of what you said, and I could definitely attest to that, because I have met so many women through Her Collectively, which is the whole purpose of it. And I've also, you know, been a part of the suit. And so like the pop-up, like my husband and I, we've been there in Brooklyn to do our pop-ups, and like it's definitely a whole community, a whole wonderful, beautiful vibe, and it's just amazing. And I have to give you your flowers and just thank you for even extending your platform to us, you know. And also, I just have to say, I do miss your lives, girl, because even like I told you this personally, but I'll share this with everyone else. Like, even when God gave me the download to start interviewing for Testimonies of Faith, the first person that popped up in my mind was you, because I'm like, man, I remember Shay. She used to always have us lit at the seat at the table every Tuesday.
Hey, seat at the Tuesdays, baby.
Yes.
We had a time.
Yes.
It was so good. It had a beautiful run. And I look back and I really wish I had that material that I can still like.
No.
So it's like, you know, I'm realizing that it's okay. It is what it is. You know, because then I feel like people come on my page and then they really don't know what I've done and the work I've, you know, done in the past. I feel like a lot of that is God. You know, I was robbed of that. Like, I really went through a grievance period of what I did with the community, you know, because, but it is what it is. Like,
yeah, but it's okay. Like, the community's still there. You still have, you know, a bunch of supporters that definitely rally around you, and we support you wholeheartedly with everything you do, every move you make. And so definitely just stay encouraged with that. And I'm just happy that you did not quit and that you continued, and you know, you're continuing to, you know, be in obedience to what God has called you to do, because we definitely need this. We need community. Right. We definitely do.
And I realized how much I needed too, right? In just different ways. Right. It's not like there's so many levels of community. It's not, you know, you have your prayer community, right? Like, you have your mommy community, you know, you have your parent community. Like, there's so many levels, right? And really everybody fits in each community, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. You know, like, you think about even in this platform, in this space and season that you're in, how, you know, you may have had to seek out counsel and wisdom from other, you know, people in your Christian community, you know, to take you higher or to learn. I think it's so important that we lend ourselves to being so open to joining other groups or, you know, networking and putting ourselves out there, because we don't know how much of a blessing that would be to us, and how much, you know, that connection can lead to so much more. I don't know who you know, you don't know who I know. And one of the things that I've also lend myself to thinking is that your network is really your net worth.
Facts.
Right?
True.
And just like, you know, in the abundance of blessings, right? And not even on a monetary level, but there are so many rooms that you have not yet been spoken.
Right. Right. Exactly. And it's not about like what you know, it's really about who you know. Right. That could get you the connections that you need to get you into the rooms sometimes that you need to be in, you know?
Absolutely. And I mean, I'm a testimony of that, because if it wasn't for Jennifer Small, which is, you know, a college friend of mine and, you know, a business partner, saying,
Jennifer,
be here, right? Like, I wouldn't be in this space. So, or being able to be a part of the Small Business Svite, where then I wouldn't have been able to have you be a part of that experience, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like everything is connected. So sometimes we have to really be intentional and really be in alignment with who we connect with in these seasons of harvest, you know, while we're preparing for that next step, just really sometimes taking inventory. So that's what I felt like God was doing with me in that season of just like starting over,
right.
Inventory. So
yeah, girl. So let's jump into the next question. So thank you everyone who's joining and who's watching and who will rewatch. But for anyone that is on now and anyone that will rewatch the replay, what advice would you give someone who is wanting to step out on faith? They want to take that leap of faith, but they're afraid. How would you speak to them? How would you encourage them to take that leap?
Just do it. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to, we talk ourselves out of like the most amazing ideas, the most amazing experiences. And faith, I mean, our fear cripples us often. I get it. Anxiety sets in, but you know, when you believe in God and, you know, you rebuke all of that energy, you know that you've been set to create something that's different from somebody else.
Right.
What you're bringing is necessary. It's needed. And that's what you have to keep telling yourself, no matter how hard it is, because it does get hard, right? Like, I'm a sidepreneur, which is a coin term that I learned yesterday. Like, I'm not in this full on, right? Like, you've made the transition to do this full on. So there are moments when you're like so pumped up, and I'm sure other moments when, you're feeling defeated, because that is natural, right? That's a part of it. But I would say to keep going, keep persevering. I would say take your breaks, take a pause, but don't stop. Don't quit. Don't give up, because what you have, the world needs. The world needs what you have. That's one of I have quotes for days. You know that.
Yeah.
But the world needs what you have. God gave this to you for a reason, so you have to act out on it. And that doesn't mean acting out on it is for financial gain, for monetary consumption. Like, it's not about that. But if you have a message to give, do it. Act on it, because it came in your heart for a reason.
Right.
And God will give you the tools and the people to make that vision, that brand, that business come to life, no matter what.
That's so good.
So I think that for me, I was very much like, I don't know nothing about no business. I don't know how to get started. And just speaking to the right people, I got aligned with it. And, there's so much more work that I need to do and want to do, but I'm so glad that I got started. I was at an event yesterday called Back to Business that we curated, the Small Business Svite, where we brought in a lot of different businesses, resources to kind of just connect and engage and, allow people to take their businesses to the next level. And I was meeting people, and they were like, oh, where are you from? Or what's your brand? I'm like, HERCollectively. And they're like, oh, I heard of you. Or, oh, I'm following you. And it was, and for me, it was just like, wow, like, you just never know who now is getting to know who you are, and through other people saying who you are, how your name is out there.
Right.
Like, if I didn't make it my business to sit down and just create this, who knows where I would be? Who knows, what would have happened today? So I felt like, even as a mom, right, and even in this new role, I also know the value of still coming back to this community.
Right.
I still know that it's important to show this love as well. I don't ever want to not be a person who forgets that, because this community was there for me when in moments and times when it was very hard for me. So as I journey into mamahood, I'm still, a community curator by heart. Like, this is still such a passion. This is still such a joy for me.
Yeah.
So I would say, just do it. You got it. Yeah. You're more than prepared, more than you fail to realize. And I see you as an example of that, right? Like, just doing it. Like, you will never have all the pieces together. But if you start, it'll be okay.
It will.
You'll get what you need.
Yes. I could definitely testify to that. Like, just step out on faith, because God will never leave you. He's called you to it, so he's going to see you through it.
Exactly.
And it's just going to always be like that. And oftentimes I feel like, we get, sometimes, the spirit of fear will attach itself to you, but you have to just decree and declare that that's not of God. And, and just don't, and then push past that feeling, because it's not of God. It's not. And oftentimes it's, I always speak of this, but it's a force of resistance stopping you from stepping into your destiny. And it's so important that we, don't allow it. Don't allow it to stop you, no matter what it looks like. Don't focus on the facts.
Yeah, and then the people too, right? Like, there are some people that will come in and deposit that level of fear too, right? And allow you to talk yourself out of the thing. So that's why I also say that just do an inventory and an assessment of who you're talking about your business with, your brand, right? Just kind of like clear the air a little bit, because, not everybody means us well.
So true, right?
And there's some people that, are watching but will never applaud you, watching but will never comment, watching but will never, hit the subscribe button. So, you just careful to also
And
with the level of discernment as you're building
so true.
that business.
I want to piggyback off of what you just said too, because I remember when Adrian and I were just like with the thought of Faithology brands, and at the time it was Faith on Fashion, and you were actually one of the first people that I actually told about it. And so yeah, just to piggyback off of what you said, like you can't really go around telling your dreams to everybody. Like you have to like be very discerning with who you share your God-given dreams with, because a lot of them are sent from the enemy's camp to discourage you. And it's so important to, like you said, keep inventory and just know who's in your corner and who's not in your corner, and just be very mindful of who you're sharing that dream with.
Right. And purging your space, purging your, sometimes purging our contact list, purging our email list, like whatever that looks like. Like sometimes we also just have to clean house. The acquaintances just don't serve us, and those connections just don't serve us in this season, and that's okay. And I've learned that too. There's some people who you'll message and they'll never respond to you, email, they'll never get back to you. That's okay. Those are not the people who are supposed to be aligned with you.
Right.
So it's okay to be okay with the answers you don't get, with the no's you get, or the non-responses. That's okay, because there's going to be someone that says yes, right? When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no, right? So I just feel like there's going to be that one yes that'll just change your whole trajectory, change your whole life. And sometimes you'll hear it in other stories, like, it took a repost by an influencer or by that celebrity, and here I am, right? So you keep speaking that your brand, like you think about every time that you're doing anything, right? That's another opportunity of another set of eyes looking at your business, looking at your brand. Like every time you have to see it that way. You're speaking about it. There's just even if it's one other person, even the people on this live, there's somebody who doesn't know nothing about her collectively. So that's why you always have to walk and lead and love what you're doing and be passionate about what it is that you're doing, because you don't know who's inspired by it, who's going to get ready to message you after it's over. I've had people DM me very long passages. Oh, I've been watching you. I'm so, I love what you're doing with their community. Would love to work with you. Would love to connect. I'm like, how you, like, me? Seriously? Me? Little old me? But I'm a big old me.
Yes.
Like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes what we say to ourselves, like, just be careful of the words we speak. Like, yeah, that's right. You do. And I like that for me. And I like that for us, right? Because sometimes we'll talk ourselves out of like what we're doing and who we're about, but we're a big deal.
We are a big deal.
Big deal, honey. Okay. Period.
Yes. Period. Point blank. I love it. We are.
Yes.
So how can people connect with you, Shay?
I'm around, girl. But I mean, listen, DM me. I'm on Threads, honey. I'm everywhere. I'm on the X, Twitter, formerly known as X. You can email me, info@HERCollectively.com. My Instagram account is @HERCollectively_. And yeah, I'm very accessible. I love to connect. I'm always thinking about what to do next. What's the next partnership? I am working on something for November or before the year is out, and looking to get some projects underway for next year. So I'm excited about that. But we definitely need to collab, because let me tell you, our hoodies have still been speaking in like people's mouths, like up until peak. Shout out to Mattia. She messaged me saying that just ask her, how can I get this hoodie? People have asked to make more. Are you ever gonna do another collab? So I'm just saying,
we gotta talk business.
Talk, okay? I would love to do that with you guys. I think we had some great, even in that, like, we didn't even talk about that, how we were able to have two, like, a successful collab in one color, drop the other color, and that went off too, right? And it's like you just never know who needs what you have.
Right.
Right.
It's a tribe called Blessed. That's what it is.
It's a tribe called Blessed, baby. You know, so I think that's also one of the highlights of Her Collectively is that collab. Like, people just showing up in droves to support and
so true.
Yep. You know, like, even to this day, I still get people taking photos and tag.
Yeah,
you know,
it's true. Yep.
It's still, it speaks to exactly what we're talking about. If you build it, they will come.
Yes.
If what you have is a great thing, people will find it. People will want to be a part of it. If it's authentic, if they love the vibe, it'll happen. So
right. Wow, that's a good, I'm so happy we ended with that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think, you know, it's all about on just, people could sense if you're genuine, and if you truly, you know, they could sense your energy and just sense your vibe and just see, like, if you're truly all about what you're talking about, you know.
Absolutely.
And so I love that. Hey, Crystal girl. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much, you guys.
Yeah,
Shay, thank you.
Here, it's been a long time. It feels really comfortable again. Maybe you're pulling this out of me. Maybe I need to revisit. I don't know.
Yes! Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Maybe.
All right, girl.
Yes, but thank you so much for having me. Thank you for allowing me to just be a part of this space, share conversation, share dialogue with you. It feels, I'm very happy to be here. I love what you're doing. Please keep up the amazing work. Keep spreading the word. Keep the faith alive. Keep it going and flowing. Love it. And I hope everybody here has an amazing month of October, amazing season ahead. May you reap all your blessings, all the things, all beautiful things are coming your way. So keep God and all things will be possible.
In Jesus' name. Amen. All right, y'all.
All right, guys.
Bye, guys.
Be well.